Hey everybody, and welcome to the Ember Sword podcast. I am your humble host Svetlin, and today I have our executive producer Lauren with me to talk about the arena. Lots of people have been asking about the arena experience since we released a newsletter about it a decent while back, and we are here to shed some more light on what it's going to be. So Lauren, welcome.
Thank you, Svetlin.
What is the arena going to be like? Or what is the arena? Let's start there.
Okay, right. Yeah, so the arena is kind of the very first slice of Ember Sword game experience that we wanted to build specifically for bringing out towards an initial testing audience and eventually the community. So it's kind of like this beautiful blank slate for us to start playing around with our PvE combat. And actually making sure that that is really great and fun and crunchy and is something that you can do with multiple players and is just really engaging.
Okay. So multiple players. That means the arena is co-op.
Yeah, definitely. So, it may help to kind of break down, I guess, indeed, the gameplay that we want to bring with the arena. So, the arena, kind of see it as sort of a Roman Colosseum meets colorful, somewhat technological, somewhat mystical, Ember Sword art style. And it is literally just an environment that's a few screens in size where you enter through the epic doors of the arena, you step into combat, and then obviously other doors of the arena open, letting creatures from the Ember Sword universe into the arena, much like in the old Roman times where we're thinking bread and games for the people. It's bread and games for the people here, and you are the gladiator in the arena. Best of luck. Please try to survive as long as possible for our entertainment.
Ominous, Jesus, man.
Yep. Well, of course, we do this in a fun and lighthearted Ember Swordy way, but in the end, you are standing in an arena, and your goal is to make it through the onslaught. And the way this works is actually in stages and waves. So there is a number of stages to the arena, and we'll start with probably one or just a few. And in each stage, you're going to be facing several waves of enemy creatures, eventually capped off by a sort of mini-boss. So it's kind of like in every stage, the difficulty level gets higher wave after wave. And then when you clear that stage, that actually unlocks something new, either maybe some new ability, the ability to resume at that level, or even the ability to add more players to your arena game, so you can bring in yet another player to join your party to take on the onslaught that is coming in the upcoming stages. As you get higher up in the arena, you will actually need more players to beat particular stages.
Right, so just to draw a point of comparison, for those of you who've played the Mass Effect multiplayer, all 5 of you, and for those who've played Gears of War Horde mode, hey, don't laugh, I'm one of the 5 people and I recruited 3 others. I love that shit.
So this was basically just for all your friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, I'm spreading this to my friends as well. We're gonna get those numbers up, baby! Anyway, so what sets us apart from those experiences? You mentioned spectators, and there's something quite special there, right?
Yeah, it's true. Like, there's a couple of things that we're doing with Ember Sword that are, of course, unique. First of all, we're building technology which, in the end, will allow us to let players join ongoing adventures, experiences in a single click, and actually straight up load them up in their browser. So that means, if you do unlock the ability to bring aboard another teammate, another party member, you can just straight up bring them aboard and, face the oncoming hordes of the next stage and waves. That's one thing, but the other thing is, obviously, oftentimes there's not room for everyone that would want to be a part of an experience to be a part of it, and this is typically where services like Twitch come in, and you can also join to watch your favorite players take on, stage number 10 and see if they finally make it past that incredibly hard boss. But we've kind of taken that a step further with Ember Sword, with spectating actually builds straight into the game. So just like you can join the experience with a single click, you can also spectate it just as easily. And that actually means that you're going to be able to spectate into the arena. And as more people spectate in, you'll actually see the arena physically fill up with the people that are watching. And unlike other spectator modes where you're just literally straight up watching, we actually have some special components to our spectating mode, which includes that as you get a larger audience, for example, in the arena, that audience gets a chance to vote on what the next power up is to be thrown into the arena. One of the spectators gets to throw it in, gets to decide where it goes. And as you have more and more spectators, you basically those power-ups will refresh sooner, will become available faster, or more at a time, and thus, to some extent, actually building an audience, bringing your friends along to support you in the arena, will actually give you a better chance at tackling some of the hardest challenges that exist in the arena. So the arena is really going to be, to some extent, also a community experience in that we imagine that once certain stages are actually successfully completed, that's going to become quite the huge accomplishment. A little bit akin to a raid being beaten for the first time in World of Warcraft.
So that incentivizes the players to bring friends along to watch them. What incentivizes the viewers beyond, supporting a person they like?
Right, yeah. So for the viewers, one of the cool things is, and we're currently also working on a partnership with Twitch to even bring this outside of our game client and in the Twitch interface as well. But for the viewers, they can actually earn drops as they spectate these kinds of epic events occurring. So even as a viewer, there's the benefit to you outside of just seeing really awesome players tackle really tough challenges and hopefully working on your own gameplay a little bit through watching that. There is the upside that you might actually get unique drops, unique cosmetics, unique items. We'll definitely have a podcast soon where we talk about cosmetics and how those work and what makes them unique. But there's going to be some really awesome drops that you might in fact only be able to get through watching other people do really well at something. So that alone can be obviously a reason to take that social aspect of it and also watch and support your friends.
Hey, works for me. I want to get into the gameplay of the arena a bit. We've touched upon the structure of the experience, what it's going to be like. What is the gameplay going to be like?
Right, so it being sort of a co-op wave-based experience means it'll get rather interesting when it comes to the gameplay. So in each wave, we release a number of creatures into the arena that will, in some cases team up and go after the players. But of course, because of, the, like, say, very dynamic combat that we have through, like, our AI game master, AI director that is managing all of that, typically the experience will be quite a bit different from what you might have in other games because, for example, due to the fact that we know this thing called threat zones, right? You as players, for example, when you're being surrounded by a pack of wolves, you can actually, kind of get back to back with each other and hold them off. So the way combat kind of goes is very much related to the way creatures interact and their AIs interact and how you as players can kind of hold that off in a smart way.
So the arena is essentially, since we're releasing it first from the experiences we have planned, it's going to be a showcase of what Ember Sword's gameplay on a almost per screen basis is going to be like. The minutia of how the enemy behaves, how you can tackle the enemy in various interesting new ways, and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to showcase a lot of that crunchy combat in the sense that we've talked about this on other podcasts as well, particularly when we're talking about AI direction, our AI game master, is we have a lot of elements in our game that are just very different that you would not immediately expect from an MMO, right? You're not expecting in an MMO to have like more action RPG style combat where, instead of just, clicking something and auto attacking it a couple times and then triggering an ability, having actually gameplay where timing really matters, where abilities are super impactful, and that is something that of course we're testing in the arena. So expect large swarms of little creatures surrounding the players, forcing you to fend them off together. Expect them fleeing as you trigger powerful abilities, and then gathering again to continue harassing you. But also expect really large and epic enemies that will, without any regard for the lives of other enemies in the arena, charge straight at players, knocking over other creatures, throwing them around the arena just to get to you and plant that club firmly in your face. So so expect some real mayhem and some very visually exciting combat to be coming from that. And of course, as sort of a part of that experience, certainly when we bring it out towards a larger audience, expect to also be able to bring not just any character, but your character into that arena, your customized player character with your gear and your cosmetics on. So it's gonna be very much its own little game experience, which that on its own is something that you can play obviously with groups of players for hours on end, coming back every month to push through to the next stage of the arena as it becomes unlocked, earning new cosmetics, earning new items, and basically sort of already let's say building out your initial collection within the Ember Sword game.
Well, that is certainly, as always, exhaustive. So that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed this rather, deep look into what the arena is going to offer. Hopefully you enjoyed listening, and we are going to catch you next time. Hey you made it to the end. Congratulations! That must mean you like us enough to want more, right? Well, good news! We're all over the internet. Go to embersword.com and subscribe to our newsletter for a chance to play the game early, as well as the latest interesting tidbits on the game and the team. Join our lovely Discord community over at discord.gg/embersword. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at PlayEmberSword for regular updates on what we're up to. And remember the basics. Drink water, be kind to each other, and spread the word about Ember Sword.